Hello and welcome to CIS 2. This is Intro to Computer Science at Shasta College. My name is Jeff and I'll be your instructor for the course. Again, welcome. Before we get started, I just wanted to mention for this class, before we get into any of this other stuff, uh, if you are signing up for this course and you have never taken a programming class, you don't know anything at all about coding, that is perfect. This is exactly where you want to be. I'm the main programming instructor here on campus. We have several people that teach, coding classes. I teach 5 different languages for Shasta College, and I love this class. It's fun for me. So just to give you an idea, as a teacher, if you teach, I'll pick on the math department. Let's say if you teach math, like students have always taken math classes, right? Since the time you can remember, you've been in a math class. Great if you love math, right? If you don't, well, I get it, but I happen to like math because I'm kind of nerdy. But anyway, so you go in and each year you take another math class. But you've already done math before, so it's not new to you, so it's not fun. This course, you don't know anything about programming, you've never done it before. It's a brand new subject. So it's something that's brand new that as a teacher my students have never done before. So I get to show you all this really cool stuff. You get to put it to use and you can create some really cool things. And we get to do that, pretty much right away. So it's very exciting to teach. So I just want to mention that. So if you're normally I teach this in the labs. I've sworn for years that I would never teach this class online because I think it's important to be sitting next to people that are feeling the same way in a new class, brand new class. But here we are online. So here we go. And I've been teaching online programming class for years, just different languages. So anyway, we'll talk more about that. I like to provide a lot of resources. I get very good feedback from students on the online courses that we do have, and so I'm hoping that you will enjoy this. It should be fun. Programming is fun. It's not difficult. So I can tell you the feedback you get from newbies is, I didn't know it was this easy. Like I was scared to death of this class, and it wasn't hard at all. And so it is a lot of work. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. This is a 4 unit class, and there's a lot of work in this class. But the stuff is fun, especially once you kind of get going and you learn how to use a few tools, and you're like, oh man, I'm gonna make my program do this or that, and it's just cool. So anyway, I'm super nerdy if you can tell. So I tend to like this kind of stuff. But I will say, our majors in the class, you can't see everybody sitting around the room, but our majors in this class, we will have, of course, computer science majors, we will have engineering majors, we'll have math majors. Those are the typical, students that I see taking my programming classes for transfer. But then I also get all sorts of other students. So, for example, I had a student last semester who she was an international relations major, and she signed up for the class, and she said, "I just felt like I should need to know a little bit of something about programming," and she was scared of the course. I'm sure the look in her face said everything the first day, but she loved it, and she really enjoyed learning how to build some basic programs and just the foundational stuff. So if you don't know anything, don't be scared. That's everyone else is in the same boat. So there's that. All right, let's talk about. So that's one major important thing. Don't be scared. You'll be okay. And the other thing is, I think pretty important is how to get a hold of me. So if you have questions, right? So here's the thing. Over here on the syllabus, you'll see my office phone number. Not going to be there, right? So I won't be in my building. Pretty sad, but we're locked out, right? So making the best of it. So this is my email address, jhendrickson@shastacollege.edu. That's sort of a backup. And the reason why I say that is because I get a ton of email. And our little mail marshal tends to block things. So sometimes it will think student email messages are, some type of thing where they're, you're trying to sell me something. So they block it, right? So the best way to get a hold of me, we are supposed to get 100% of messages that are sent through inbox. And I say that there are some exceptions to that, but if there's certain types of attachments or whatever. But anyway, if you just send a message through inbox in Canvas, so you're in Canvas, go to this green link right here, inbox, send me a message that way. I'm not clicking on it because I have student emails in there. So if I click on it, it shows those. So I don't want to click on that yet. But anyway, if you click on that, then you can, you can bring that up. So and send me a message through there. I'm pretty good about getting back to you. I'm super nerdy, so I tend to be on the computer a lot. I'll always get back to you within a day. Sometimes if it's a weekend, I happen to be out of town or something, I may not be able to get back to you with an exact answer, but I'm pretty good about getting back to you quickly. All right, so there's that, and we'll talk about other ways to get help and that kind of stuff later on in the course. I don't want to put everything in one video, so all right, if you're still with me, we've been 5 minutes. Hopefully, you're still with me. All right. So anyway, we've got a few things. So let's just go over really quickly in the syllabus. That's a big item. The other big question that I get from students too is, what do I have to buy? And that's a legit question. So we have two uh, components to this course. There is the computer kind of sort of hardware and software piece. That's a real simple way of looking at it, but that's this piece right here. So it's from Paradigm Education. It's this thing called Computers Understanding Technology. That's the book. It's the 7th edition. We use this. It used to be called Snap. Now they're branding it as CIS, but you may see both, so I left both in there. That is in Canvas right here, this little piece. So if you click on this link right here, this will open the textbook in a new tab, and you'll roll from that. Oh, while we're talking about that, please use Google Chrome. We found that you get the least amount of errors using Google Chrome. Firefox tends to be okay, but don't use Internet Explorer, Edge, or any of that kind of stuff. And if you're on a Mac, I'll talk about that too. But if you're on a Mac, download Google Chrome. Do not use Safari. So you have all sorts of problems using some of the online stuff that we're going to use in this class. All right. So anyway, so there's that. Now, if you're new to Canvas and you've not seen this before, this little toggle right here will save you from a lifetime of scrolling. So as you finish things, go ahead and close those babies up. All right, that will help you because some of these activities, we're going to do 13 chapters in this book. So this is just the first chapter, and you can see all the links on here. So you can imagine just scrolling, scrolling, scrolling. So after you finish these, close this baby up. You never have to look at it again if you don't want to. All right, so there's that. When I click on this, you'll see it opens up different activities. So this on the hardware, software piece, the computer piece, understanding technology that goes with this book right here. These are some of the activities that you'll do. So the way that these work, you can see there are a variety of points. Okay, so if I click on, I don't know, let's do, I don't know, the first chapter. So there's some history stuff, and they have little videos. So they're actually kind of entertaining. So they're typically like 3 to 5 minutes. So I'm gonna go and click on this one. We'll just see what it looks like in here. I don't think this is a video one. Nope. And so anyway, so you come in here. If there's a video, there'll be a video link, or you click on this where it says article, and it'll bring up a little article for you to read. Typically they're PDFs or they're something that's shared. So anyway, you'll be fine there. And it'll talk about different things. And then it has a little, when you click on attempt, it'll give you a little tiny quiz. So if this is 5 points, I'm guessing there are 5 questions in here. All right, so they go pretty quickly. So when you see this whole like, oh man, look at all this stuff in here. Yeah, they do take a little bit of time. If you're familiar with this and maybe this stuff is reviewed to you, you'll be able to go through it very quickly. But what we found is that people that may not be so familiar with this stuff, and this might be their first computer class, they're not a nerd like me that, building my own computers and doing all that kind of nerdy stuff. This is good stuff for them to be able to go through and learn a little bit more about these concepts. Okay, and I think they're kind of fun. That's one of the reasons why we went through and did it this way. So we used to teach these as part of the course too, but we just felt like this was a good way of doing it because you can do it on your own time and watch a 2-minute video and then answer a couple questions about it. All right, so that's where this comes from, and then we'll close that down. So these are set on here. Now when you see the due dates, I do not accept late work. So if you see August 30th on here, that means by 11:59 p.m. Don't cut it too close because it will lock you out. So once it gets 11:59 p.m. on August 30th, you cannot submit any of these assignments. All right, so keep that in mind, and that's true with the programming assignments, all that kind of stuff. Okay, so anyway, so there's that. The other piece that we're going to do that is really the big chunk of the course is Python programming. So we'll be using a Python book, a textbook that you'll see, and if you click on this link, it brings you over to a little Word doc that tells you where to go. Like go to myprogramminglab.com, click on student, and I put little arrows, and it walks you through getting the access for this stuff. So this is the digital version of it. You can also go, and if you would like to buy the printed copy, you can get, here's the ISBN number over here. If you go to Amazon, or we carry these in the store. But make sure you're buying the one that says a version that says it comes with a My Lab license. It'll say My Lab or My Programming Lab, because we will be doing that. That's one of the pieces you'll be doing. So we'll be doing coding, and we'll talk more about this later on in a couple weeks. We'll talk about this. So I don't want to talk too much about it right now, but you have to have a license for this because you have graded assignments in this My Programming Lab. It's an online component that gives you instant feedback. It's a great tool for you to be able to use at home. All right. So anyway, so there's that. Let me go back over here real quick. So your first little assignment right now is go ahead and get this textbook. If you follow these instructions, it walks you through buying a digital copy of the book. If you buy a digital copy of the book, I think it's $97.95, and that comes with the My Programming Lab license. When you get that, this is the code that you need after you've purchased your license. When it says your instructor is going to give you a code to add you to the class, this is what you need. Okay, so if you go and do that, if you buy a used copy of the textbook, or maybe a buddy is letting you borrow it, whatever, then you don't need to buy the digital copy if you don't want to. And in the instructions, there's a little in this little piece it shows you, like, if you don't want to buy the digital copy, then you can just buy the licensing from My Programming Lab, and it's $45 or $50. It's about half the cost. So anyway, so you need that license anyway. So if you can't find a used copy for less than $50, this is the cheapest way to go, is to get the digital version of it. All right. So anyway, so there's that. The only other thing I put here in the beginning is this, because I think this is really valuable. This is something that our student services put together last year in November, and it's just a little thing with food resources, phone numbers, where to get help. All right, so if you are hungry, or if you know a Shasta College student that doesn't have food, use these resources. We have government funding out to buy things. Don't ever feel bad to ask help for getting food. So there are places our student services help on campus. We have the food pantry. I'm not sure how they're doing it since we are not officially in person, but they will figure something out. Okay, so I put this in here because maybe everything's great right now, but in a month you're like, oh man, don't forget this resource is here. Or if you hear of anybody, Shasta College student that needs help or whatever, this is the place to go. Okay, so I leave that in there. I put that on all my classes. All right, so I'm trying to keep this short. Darn it, we're 12 minutes. That's terrible. I try to keep my videos a little bit shorter. Some of the first ones are a little bit longer, but that's okay. Anyway, one last thing. If you're using a Mac, and if I would have used my webcam, you would have seen my Mac behind me on this stand. This We used to put this little piece in here because we used to install software. We used to do Java. We had a lot of other things that we used for this course, but we switched over to Python because it's awesome and it's really easy to learn. And everything that we do now is cloud-based. So it doesn't matter. This platform doesn't matter. The only thing that matters with the Mac is do not use Safari. I use Safari on my Mac, but if you're doing something for this course, especially like doing these little activities over here, use Chrome. So download Chrome on your Mac, do search, download it in the store, whatever, and use Chrome when you log into Canvas and do these activities. It will save you a world of hurt as far as error messages and all sorts of other things. Anyway, so there's that. I'm gonna stop because I've been talking now for 13 minutes, and I mean, hopefully you're still here with me, but anyway, if you have questions, let me know. But for now, get started on this. Check back in Canvas. I will post if you want to get started on this piece. Great. Don't worry about My Programming Lab as far as doing any of the activities yet. The first chapter is active right now, but you don't need to do it yet. We're going to actually do that in about 3 weeks. So we do some other things first, and so check back in a couple of days. I think Wednesday I'll probably post the next set of things for us to do for our first kind of programming assignments that you'll see, and I think you'll enjoy that. So again, thank you for putting up with me for this. And if you have any questions, send me a message through inbox. But hopefully you're able to get started and get going with this stuff. And if you've gotten this far, you can at least hopefully get into these activities. And if you want to match up with the book here and kind of walk through these, go for it. All right. So this stuff you can do anytime up to August 30th. All right. So anyway, I'm gonna end that. I don't want to hit 15 minutes because that's like, man, that's way. It's already 10 minutes too long. You can tell I enjoy this stuff, so I get a little bit too excited sometimes. But welcome to the course, and I think you will enjoy it.